In this video, we're going to talk about how to invest in real estate with no money. Investing in real estate can be a great way to build your wealth, but unfortunately, it's hard to get into it if you don't have a large amount of money up front. That's why in this video, I'm going to give you some tips and tricks for how to start investing with little to no money down. Let's jump right into it. Hey, what's up guys? My name is Chase and this is a Penny Pincher's Guide to Personal Finance. If you like videos like this, then hit that subscribe and that like button, especially if this helps you out and helps you get into your investing journey. So let's jump right into the video. All right, so the first one I'm gonna talk about, and probably the easiest one to start investing into real estate, is gonna be to invest into a real estate investment trust, or otherwise called a REIT. So REITs are companies that own or finance income producing real estate across a range of sectors. Now, these real estate companies do have to meet a number of requirements so that they can then be classified as a REIT. And these REITs are then listed on big stock exchanges, just like other mutual funds or stocks, where you can buy and sell them and make it easier to get into the real estate market. Now, with these REITs, it does give you an investment opportunity that the otherwise average American might not be able to attain. So this is similar to a mutual fund, and it kind of breaks that barrier where only Wall Street, hedge funds, or other large people out there would be investing into these real estate projects. And now you can start investing into the same things that they are through the stock market. And by investing into these, you will get the same benefits that these large hedge fund and Wall Street people will be getting. You'll be getting the dividends associated with them. You'll get the diversified portfolio, and you'll get multiple different properties within this REIT to then start taking advantage of, as well as you'll help communities grow, thrive, and you'll help revitalize as you're putting more money into these projects. And as you own more and more of these REITs, you will then get the opportunity to get these dividends and these payouts that you otherwise would be getting if you were owning the actual properties without having to do any of the actual work or going out to these sites. You will just be able to buy it, and then you'll be getting that payout depending on the proportion of the REIT that you own compared to the overall whole. So in my opinion, this is pretty great because you don't have to do all the upfront work that you would typically have to do with real estate. You don't have to worry about the location, the tenants, or anything like that. You just have to do your research, find the REIT that works best for your investment goals, invest in that, and then sit back and collect that money as it comes in. All right, so the next option that you can start investing into real estate with little or no money down is going to be to consider house hacking the house that you already have. So what I mean by this is you could either have a duplex or you could even have a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house that you can then rent out a room to a friend or to an acquaintance or somebody out there and then start making money on that room. Now you can do this for as many rooms as you have possible, and this could really make a difference as covering your mortgage, as well as you can start building money up to help put into another real estate opportunity out there. And another great part about house hacking is that as you start getting more money from these people that are renting your rooms or the other unit in your complex or your home or your duplex, that money will then start be going into your mortgage and start building more equity, and it just like a twofold pays off your mortgage, but also gets more equity and it builds up and makes you more and more money. So if you do have the option to find a duplex or find a room extra and then start renting it out, then I would highly recommend this one, as this is one of the easiest ways to do it, especially if it's somebody that you like and don't mind hanging out with. Then this is a great option to start doing and utilizing without having any money in it. Another way to start investing into real estate without money or having little money down is to consider moving forward with a seller finance agreement. So instead of going to a bank, getting a loan from them, having a huge down payment that goes with it, and then buying a house and having the 30-year mortgage, what you can do is you can negotiate with the seller and move forward with a seller financing agreement. That's basically, you're going to make these monthly payments to the seller on just similar to how you would with the mortgage payments, but you would not have to do a big upfront down payment. Now, depends on the seller and where you're going and what you're buying, if this is even going to be an option. So if you haven't already discussed this with the potential buyer, the potential seller, then I would definitely look into this and see if this is something that you can do. There are some great benefits not only for the buyer side of things, but also for the seller, because the seller would not have to share some of his profits with the real estate agent and with the bank. All right, another option would be to go forward with wholesaling, which is finding an off-market property at a discounted price and then signing the contract to another investor for a fee. Now, by doing this, this will allow you to get into the real estate market without having to put any down payment associated with it. And we will be having some videos further that depict this a little bit more in the future, so hit that subscribe button so you can see it when it comes out. All right, the next one that I'm going to talk about is going to be for rent to own properties. Now, this is an option that benefits not only the seller, but the buyer as well. If you're unable to make a particular purchase now, or you're unsure if you're going to like this property for the long term, then you can consider moving forward with this option. Basically, what's going to happen is the monthly payments that you're making for your rent will then be applied towards your actual purchase price if that is something that you decide to move forward with. If you decide not to move forward with the house, then you can just move on and find your next real estate option out there without being tied down to your particular property that you're at that moment. This has great benefits not only for the buyer but also for the seller as well. The buyer is not going to be stuck to that particular property if they don't want to move forward with a deal, but the seller will also get a benefit is if they were making those monthly payments and then they decide to move on, then they can then make some more money on a new person coming in, a new renter, or if the person decides to stay, then they will have somebody to buy and move on with their property. Okay, the next option for investing into real estate without any money is to consider moving forward with investor partners. Now, this one will be a little bit more involved, and you also have to be able to formulate a great business plan and find the correct location and the property to make some money off of it. That way that you can present it to these investors with a great solid plan. That way they'll give you some money to start putting forward to the product. Now, by finding an investor, this gives you the option to move forward with a property without having to put forward any of your own money. This does give you and provide you the sweat equity from that investor, and you have to do all the dirty work and all the research and all the finding to find it. But then after that, there's no money up front and you start to get to collect the checks once it starts producing that income. And then the last one that I want to talk about is kind of similar to how REITs are when we initially talked about those, but there are options out there called like fundrise where you can then crowdfund a bunch of money and start investing it into a percentage of a particular project, and then you can start making a return on that. I think this is a great option. There are some fees associated with it, and there does need to be a lot of research and determination into what you need to do. But once you put that money in, you don't have to do any of the particular hard work or the actual hard labor to get everything accomplished. You just put your money in and then you start getting the payouts once that project is accomplished. So I do think that the fundrise as well as the REITs are probably the easiest ones to break that barrier and get into investing, but you just got to make sure that you do your research and find the right projects and the right REITs and fundrise projects that work best for your investment goals. I do think real estate is one of the best ways to start building your wealth, and it is the easiest way to get to the goals that you want to be at a little bit shorter time frame, because it really can build and build and build the more projects that you have. I hope this helps spark some ideas to start moving forward with real estate for building your wealth over the long term. If you did get some good information, hit that like and subscribe button. If you're interested in a little bit more about a deep dive into some stocks, REITs, as well as fundrise and things like that, then I will put some videos up here that you can click on that will dive in a little bit deeper. As always, I want to remind you that we are here from your first penny to your first million. We'll see you next time.